The conversion to Christianity. Pagan beliefs were prevalent among the Anglo-Saxons, but in the 6th and 7th centuries, the winds of change blew across the kingdoms. Monastic figures such as St. Augustine of Canterbury and St. Aidan played crucial roles in the conversion of the Anglo-Saxons to Christianity. The conversion of several Anglo-Saxon kings had a profound impact on their respective kingdoms. One of the most significant conversions was that of King Ethelbert of Kent, who embraced Christianity in the late 6th century. His conversion not only set an example for his subjects, but also established strong ties between Kent and the Christian Church, particularly with Pope Gregory the Great and the Roman Catholic Church. Monastic missions led by influential figures like St. Augustine of Canterbury and St. Aidan played a vital role in spreading Christianity across the Anglo-Saxon kingdoms. Pope Gregory the Great sent St. Augustine to Kent, where he established a monastery and became the first Archbishop of Canterbury. From there, the Christian faith spread northward, establishing dioceses and churches in other kingdoms. The establishment of monastic centers and cathedrals became focal points for religious and cultural development. These centers became hubs of learning, education, and artistic expression, attracting scholars and craftsmen from different kingdoms. Prominent religious centers included the monasteries at Lindisfarne, Iona, and Whitby, and cathedrals like York Minster and Durham Cathedral. The spread of Christianity necessitated communication between various Anglo-Saxon kingdoms. Latin, as the language of the Church, became the lingua franca of educated and religious circles, allowing for a common means of communication and religious expression. Christianity, as it spread among the Anglo-Saxons, began to incorporate elements of traditional Germanic pagan beliefs. This syncretism helped ease the transition for some converts and allowed for a blending of cultural practices. Christianity introduced a shared religious calendar, including the celebration of Easter and Christmas. These festivals became significant cultural events that were observed across the various kingdoms, further promoting a sense of common identity. Ecclesiastical councils, such as the Synod of Whitby in 664 AD, brought together religious leaders from different Anglo-Saxon kingdoms to discuss and resolve theological differences. These councils not only contributed to the standardization of religious practices, but also facilitated communication and cooperation between the kingdoms. Pilgrimage to religious sites and shrines became a unifying practice. Saints like St. Cuthbert of Lindisfarne and St. Hilda of Whitby were revered across the various kingdoms, drawing pilgrims from far and wide. In general, the spread of Christianity in early medieval England served as a unifying force among the Anglo-Saxon kingdoms. The conversion of kings, the efforts of monastic missions, the establishment of religious centers, and the syncretism of beliefs all contributed to a shared religious and cultural identity. Christianity provided a framework for communication, cooperation, and a sense of common purpose, paving the way for the eventual unification of the heptarchy and the emergence of a unified English kingdom. The 8th and 9th centuries brought a dark period for the Anglo-Saxons with the arrival of Viking raiders. Their invasions and plundering disrupted the stability of the heptarchy. The Vikings' impact on Anglo-Saxon culture and economy during the Viking Age, approximately the 8th to 11th centuries AD, was profound and far-reaching. The Vikings were known for their seafaring prowess and launched frequent raids and invasions on Anglo-Saxon territories. These attacks created a sense of insecurity and fear among the Anglo-Saxon population. Many coastal communities were particularly vulnerable, leading to the establishment of fortified towns and defensive structures. Despite their reputation as fierce raiders, the Vikings were also skilled traders and explorers. Through their extensive network of trade routes, they brought goods, technology, and cultural influences from other parts of Europe and beyond to the Anglo-Saxon world. This exchange of goods and ideas contributed to the development of a more interconnected and cosmopolitan Anglo-Saxon culture. The Viking raids prompted the Anglo-Saxons to fortify existing settlements and establish new fortified towns known as burhs. These towns served as centers of defense and trade, and some of them evolved into prosperous urban communities. The establishment of burhs contributed to the urbanization of Anglo-Saxon England. Prior to the Viking Age, Anglo-Saxon England primarily relied on a barter-based economy. However, the Vikings' raids disrupted trade networks, leading to a decline in the availability of goods for exchange. As a result, silver coins, particularly those minted by the Vikings and later by the Anglo-Saxons, became more commonly used as a medium of exchange and a measure of wealth. The Vikings were renowned for their skilled craftsmanship, and their interactions with the Anglo-Saxons influenced the development of art, particularly metalwork and jewelry. Viking motifs, such as animal designs and interlacing patterns, began to appear in Anglo-Saxon artwork. Over time, some Vikings settled in Anglo-Saxon territories, particularly in the region known as the Danelaw. As they assimilated into the local society, the lines between the two cultures blurred. Intermarriage and cultural exchanges led to a blending of traditions, languages, and customs. The constant threat of Viking raids and invasions had significant political and social consequences. Local rulers and nobles had to adapt their strategies and governing systems to defend against Viking attacks. Some kings even sought alliances with Viking leaders to counter mutual enemies. The Vikings' impact on Anglo-Saxon culture and economy was multifaceted. While their raids caused disruption and fear, their trade networks facilitated cultural exchange and urbanization. The linguistic influences and integration of Norse elements into Anglo-Saxon society left a lasting imprint on the language, art, and traditions of the region. The interactions between the Vikings and the Anglo-Saxons contributed to the development of a dynamic and interconnected society that eventually evolved into the medieval English kingdom. Norse words and phrases, particularly those related to everyday life, trade, and seafaring, were absorbed into Old English, the precursor to modern English. Words such as sky, sister, and anger come from Old Norse, as well as many place names and personal names in areas where Vikings settled. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe for more stories from the ancient world.